Hi everyone, thank you for coming to my YouTube channel. Today I want to share biggest physical accomplishment in my life, which was I walked the whole 42.195 kilometers, which is what in miles, 26.2 miles, a full marathon on foot. So I walked all the way, and the total time it took, just the walking time, was 8 hours and 40 minutes ish, and I was really happy and unbelievable. I did that with my friend Mariko last Saturday, and the reason I started doing was because since August I started walking 10,000 steps a day. And the reason was because until then I was more like a jogger, super slow jogger, and my habit was to run 5K 3 times a week. You know, that was the kind of goal that I was having, regular habit goal. But because it was summer and it was so hot, it was so difficult for me to keep motivating myself to keep running. So I was like, if I have to really push myself to run, why don't I just walk? So I started walking 5K, and I felt, I used to run 5K and now I only walk 5K, and I didn't feel enough. So then I told myself, okay, why don't I go for 7K? So since then, I walked every day, 10,000 steps, except for one day, which was like really heavily raining. And then gradually I increased the distance, 7K, 10K, and 15K. And from here, people were like, what are you doing, Tomomi? But, I don't know, it just felt really good to walk outside by the river. So then I increased it to 20K. And then I was told by Mariko that Honolulu Marathon is virtual now, and we can apply online, and we can just walk in South Korea 42.195K and get the medal and the t-shirt, and there's no time limit, so we can just walk. So I thought, yeah, maybe I want to try. And I thought we were at least joking. It was true that it was my dream for me to join the Honolulu Marathon. I wanted to run full marathon, and I heard the Honolulu Marathon is kind of like, really relaxed race. So in my whole life, I ran a half marathon, but never a full marathon. So it was in my kind of like future dream that I want to run a marathon. But this time, not running, but walking sounded like, okay, maybe it's doable. So we enrolled and started training. We didn't train together, but I increased the distance 20, 22, and then 25. Did I do 25? And then the farthest I went was 35. I didn't walk 42, but a week before I did 35, so I felt I was ready. And on the day, Mariko and I met 7:30 in the morning, and it was really a challenging, it ended up being a really challenging race for us, because one day before it snowed, so we were so worried that the road will be frozen. But luckily, it wasn't frozen. Some parts we saw snow, but mostly it was okay. So our feet didn't get wet. And second of all, the challenge was because of COVID number was increasing, we couldn't eat at restaurants. My original plan was to walk from somewhere close to our house and walk to Camp Humphreys, the military base, and then around there are restaurants, so eat lunch at the restaurant and walk a little bit more and drink coffee and come back. But because we cannot go inside a restaurant and eat, we decided that route doesn't work. So we started from Camp Humphrey area. There's a nice park. So we decided to divide up the distance. We decided we will do first 20K. There's a big river. So on one side we did 5K and 5K back. And then the other way, 5K and 5K back. The morning was so beautiful, nice sunrise and calm river, and it was super cold. I think it was like -9 Celsius. I don't know how much it is in Fahrenheit right offhand, but we were freezing. How are you? How do you feel?
It's cold, but we're having fun. I'm glad the weather is super nice. Yes, we're lucky.
But that really crisp, cold air felt really nice, and we were watching clouds, the sun, feeling the wind, and so peaceful. So the first 10K was like, oh, already 10K? And went to the other side, took a bathroom break, and then went to the other side and came back. So 20K was really fast, the first 4 hours. So we were on time. About 4 hours we finished. And then we went on post, on base, to get wrap, veggie wrap for me. That's my favorite food on post. So we ate the wrap at lunch, feeling healthy, and we went back to the other side. So we took a break from about noon to maybe 1:30ish. And from 1:30 we started walking to the other side of at the other side of the river, and 5K one way and 5K back. So that time it started kind of, we started feeling tense muscles. So we were taking more breaks in between. Even, we didn't, maybe like every 2K or so we stop, stretch lightly and walk. But still it was a really great experience. The different scenery we were able to enjoy, and we kept talking about life, different aspects of life. So that was so enjoyable. I felt that walking together with someone is so much more fun, and time went by so much faster than just walking alone for 35K. The third one, we kept it the longest, we made it hardest. So it was 6K and 6K back. So we were able to do 12K. And then after 12K, it was getting harder for us. The legs were hurting. And so we stopped at a coffee shop and we ordered one piece of cake each other and one cafe latte each other. So we got caffeine and sugar, and we bought the food, and because we parked the car at the parking lot, we sat and drank coffee and ate cake together. That was a really refreshing break, especially the third part, 12K, was really hard. So by that time we had finished 32K. So we only had 10K left after the coffee break. And then we went 5K to the other side, and that's when the sun started going down. So we saw beautiful sunset, and we saw the birds flying, back to their home. And it started getting cold again. And Mariko had she wanted to use two kinds of gloves, but she couldn't put two gloves together. It didn't fit and it wasn't warm. So she was like, oh, my hands are cold. And I remember she brought a lot of socks because we expected that our shoes get wet because of the melting snow, but it didn't. So I said, oh, then why don't you put socks on top of your mitten? And she said, that's a great idea. And she actually put socks on her both hands, and she said, this is so warm. That's an amazing idea. So it was really fun that we were trying to be kind of creative, how to be warm. And then we finished 5K. So at that point we did 37K, which was the farthest distance Mariko walked in her life, and for me too. And we were so happy. And at the end of that 5K, the scenery was so beautiful, and that's the first time we visited that place too. Then we went 5K back, and that was completely dark. And then finally we finished. It was almost 6:45 or something like that. We were like so happy we accomplished. We weren't as tired as we had originally expected, because we had fun just talking or listening to Christmas music together. But the sense of accomplishment was so amazing, and we kept saying, wow, this is great. I think the reason was because, one, we were able to really enjoy the nature, and two, we were being together, the space we share. And then we were really focusing on one step at a time. We were in the moment. So that was amazing experience, to accomplish something that you never done with someone for such a long time. And after that, Mariko usually eats Korean barbecue after finishing a marathon or race. So we wanted to go to Korean barbecue, but again, because of Corona, all the restaurants are closed. So the only place we can go is on post. So we went to a steakhouse, Texas Roadhouse, and ate a steak. But we go, we ran the farthest distance. Why don't we order the biggest steak this restaurant has? So we order a 20-ounce bone-in ribeye, and we literally tried to bite on the meat, and we had so much fun eating, and we were tired. Mariko was sleepy and everything, but it was such an amazing experience. So today I wanted to share with you how amazing it was to try something you never tried with someone together. So I want to ask you, what would you like to try if you have a chance? What would you like to do, something that you never done so far? And who would you like to try with? Thank you for listening, and looking forward to seeing you next time.